Recording in progress.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning. We have our Granite County Board of Health agenda, and I'm going to turn this over to ask Ashley.
She's not on yet.
She's not here yet.
No, I don't see her. Okay. Well,
Okay, one thing while we're waiting for Ashley to get on, we do have a sanitarian report. He won't be with us today, Chad Lannis. And we have our public health nurse here, Deb Robertson. Jackie Bolster for FEP is on Zoom. And then we have Amanda on Zoom for our tobacco prevention report. And I see Dr. Coleman is also on Zoom, so we're just waiting for
Ashley, and she is just getting ready to jump on. She's
Okay.
just wrapping up with a patient, so.
good morning, everyone. You can sneak up here and sit with us if you'd like. I guess while we're waiting for her, we have a forum. We can maybe approve the minutes, or do we want to wait for?
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any public comment? All in favor?
Alright, we got that thing from Pat.
Um. so we approved the minutes, so the next agenda item is the Granite County Sanitarian Report with Chad Lannis. We have a letter from Chad. Guess I can go ahead and read it. It's this is a memo from Chad Lannis, who is our Tri-County Sanitarian. And it's staff report. And the last quarter has been quite busy for all of our programs. The on-site septic development is still going very strong, with septic systems being installed all along the length of Rock Creek in the existing subdivisions such as Whiskey Flats and Greystone subdivision, as well as increased interest in mining claims in other remote and at times large parcels. Each of these require a different approach and are keeping us on our toes. Mark Syverson has been steadily promoting. Okay, here she is. Hi, Ashley. I'm right now in the middle of reading our Tri-County Environmental Health Department report from Chad Lannis.
Okay, great.
Okay, so if you want me to continue, I can.
Please.
From his report to the next agenda item. Okay, all right. I'll carry on then. Okay, we, let's see, it has been steadily completing plan reviews for food businesses with a heavy emphasis on mobile food units still. We had a discussion that we had nearly no new food units in the Tri-County jurisdiction years ago, and now they're incredibly popular. We do have some new restaurant activity, particularly in Phillipsburg. Other than that, our brick and mortar restaurants have been steady lately and are being inspected by Mr. Severson. Severson. As he gets around the county. We are discussing how to handle certain food issues such as foods that previously required licensure and inspections, but are now allowed at events such as farmer markets without oversight. We're working on some notifications we can give the operators of the markets to help people understand the distinction between licensed and inspected and allowed but unregulated. We feel strongly that the general public should be educated about the potential risks associated to allow them to make informed decisions. It's a little late to be working on this, but we'll bring that, what we come up with, to the board just for their information. We are still working on a couple of complaints that may require legal notification and or action if we can't resolve them through communication. We will also keep the board aware of these actions. Please let me know if there are any follow-up questions, and we'll do our best to answer them once I'm back. I can be contacted via email at clanes@adlc.us or via phone at 406-563-4035 or 406-560-3190. Text works well with the cell number. And that is Chad Lannis's report, our Tri-County sanitarian. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Blanche. Are there any public comments on that report?
Are there any comments on that report?
The only one I have that my kid's still getting them complaints on that trailer down there. It's never been cleaned up. This is going on 3 years and it's still. They couldn't even plow cable through there because it's in the way and it's on the state right away. Chad said he was gonna take care of it. Never heard a thing.
Where's that at?
Right down 7.5 miles west of Drummond, the one that the wind blew over 3 years ago. We talked about it. Said that they're gonna give him a letter and have him clean it up and that. It's a mess. It's a toilet laying out there, stove laying out. It's needs to be cleaned up.
Guess
Scott,
what?
I can,
Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
if you'd like, Scott, I'll email him and then CC you on that and see what he has to say about that.
Okay, and I'll talk to Blaine too. I thought he was gonna be here, so I'll mention to him. Getting a lot of complaints. Like I said, them guys were trying to plow that cable through there and they couldn't even do it.
Is that like the Blackfoot cable? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, they had to jump up for that whole spot. And I don't know if they're gonna bring the excavator and clean it back or.
Well, they have to go through there, don't they? So why didn't they just move it?
I was like, that is that great big green thing that just makes a trench through there. They had to run over everything and it just been shoved it off the ground. Now it needs to be just cleaned up and moved. So they can get in. They don't have a little excavator there right now.
Any other comments? Okay, then I think we'll move on with the Granite County Public Health Report from Deb.
All right. Jackie and I have been working hard on getting all of our grants submitted, so all of our grants are submitted. The last 7 weeks, I've been learning a lot about the grants that we have, ways to use the funding, and looking at some new possibility for grants in the fall. We had our immunization audit last week, the first one in quite a while as a standalone clinic. They found no deficiencies, thanks to Jackie. Jackie's very organized. She keeps us organized. We are looking at some events coming up, school immunizations, daycare immunizations. We'll have the Blue Cross Blue Shield van for flu shots. We're gonna do a babysitting course this summer and offer some first aid CPR classes. Also, next spring, a children's health fair focusing on safety. I've started working with the schools, looking at the immunization records, trying to make sure that everybody's up to date. Seeing what they want in their schools as far as education and what we can do to help them out. That's about it.
Deb, do you know, do the county, not the county, do the school nurses have access to the vaccination database?
They do. I feel like up in Phillipsburg, she just got access maybe in the last year.
Okay. I was just curious because my son's particular record says his immunizations are not up to date and they are, but.
We've had kind of through COVID, I think there's been a relaxation of checking those records. So just getting back on top of that, I think is important.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, that was everything you had today, Deb?
Pardon?
That was everything that you had today?
That's it.
Okay, so we'll move on to the Granite County PHEP report with Jackie.
Good morning. So Deb and I submitted the end of year FEP report before I left. So that contract's about $1,000 less this coming fiscal year than it was the year prior. So we'll kind of split some of those duties. There's expertise that Deb has that I do not, that come to deliverables in some of those. So that's going to be good to have her be able to fill those gaps. And we're making our book for the next year. So that's about our FEP report. Ashley, you're muted.
Thank you. Okay, so the Granite County Tobacco Prevention Report from Amanda.
All right, so I have ordered some new provider packets, and they are coming to providers in your area. Inside of those packets, you're going to find a referral pad, billing codes for offices that are talking to their clients about cessation. There is also an updated list of approved cessation medications in that packet, which is something that people always ask about and is always changing. How to refer your patients, why you would do that, what to expect when you refer them. One of the nice things about it is that a lot of providers don't realize that if it's a possibility that it is beneficial to the provider, it removes the burden of the whole quit line and referral process, like getting patients to quit from the provider, and puts it on the quit line. And so the quit line will make those attempts to communicate with the patient after they've been referred. Some find that helpful, but other providers are more hands-on and want that responsibility. I plan to resume youth activities in your area. So the Drummond Library has always been a great asset for me to be able to do youth activities, and same with the Phillipsburg Library. So I'll be back in both of those locations, as well as putting a survey out during any of my participation in Granite County for collecting public opinion and survey responses on how people feel about smoking near the entrances of buildings, and if a distance ruling would be in the best interest of Granite County. I have successfully passed that with teenagers in Anaconda and also in Powell County recently. So we have a little bit of success under our belt, but we're also in the process of collecting some information on, was it detrimental to the community? Did it hurt the businesses? Things like that. So I would never approach that without public opinion. So I'm looking for between 100 and 200 surveys to help us get a temperature of the community and see if this is something that the public wants. And so I'll probably be bringing that information back to you in like a year and a half, because it takes a while to collect that information. I have had a couple of great visits with LAC Quadio, is that how you say it? Anyway, we both share a love of hobbies versus habits. We love watercolor and fishing, having positive coping skills, focusing on mental health and also addiction prevention. So we're in the process of mapping out a couple of combined efforts with each other, which is kind of the funner part of my job, getting to work with youth and doing something like a prevention fly tying class or prevention artwork, something like that. And so also included in my future plans is making sure that the courthouse in Phillipsburg has fresh, updated, and renewed materials downstairs on your information rack. And then parent-teacher conferences. I've been working with the school in Phillipsburg to provide a hidden in plain sight room at the parent-teacher conferences. It is a mock teenage room that's loaded with drug paraphernalia, but it's really hard to find. And so parents can visit through there for a chance to win a Subway gift card. But they also are supposed to be spotting things that look suspicious. And I would encourage everybody to try it out because it's really challenging. And there's a lot of products on the market that cover teen substance use. So that's my plans for Granite County in the next couple months.
What days do you show up in Granite County? Cause it's hard to
It-
keep asking, and then I haven't seen you forever, and it's like, how do you answer it?
So I just resumed the position in Granite County. I didn't have that before for probably the last year and a half. But I don't have a set day, and I'm actually trying to focus on what days are going to be the biggest asset to the community. So probably like a DUI task force day. In the future, I would prefer to attend these meetings in person, but I have to make sure that I can schedule multiple meetings and events and activities on the same day that I'm there. So I'm hoping to be there a couple days a month. I haven't mapped that schedule out, but that's something that I think that Debbie and Jackie and probably Billy Ann can help me narrow down which days are the best days for me to be out there.
Cause don't we all work on that same grant? The money? Just
I'm
making,
not sure.
see with school coming up and all this new vape and that, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah, I haven't been out there. I've been covering Anaconda and Powell County for the last year and a half. And
But-
so now I've just taken the Granite position back over.
I guess I'm just saying, make sure that we're getting our worthwhile too.
Yep.
Okay, moving on, any comments from Dr. Khan? Is Dr. Khan here, Billy?
Yes, she's here.
Okay.
I'm on and really don't have anything specific as far as updates. Have been working more with Deb as far as some of the policies through the hospital and some of those pieces, but nothing new.
Okay. All right, any other public comments? Okay. In that case, I think the meeting is adjourned.
It's adjourned.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, Ashley.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night. Have a good one.
Okay, thanks, Deb. So that brings us to Tuesday, July 16th, 2024, our regular session. We have the board minutes for July 9th, 2024. Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the board minutes for July 9th.
No, I'll second.
Is there any public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Aye. So our next agenda item is at 9:35, and that's correspondence. We are running a little early. We had an early adjournment for the Board of Health meeting.
Is, Blanche, DNRC recommending fire restrictions, or what's it?
I haven't talked to him yet. This comes from the sheriff and the fire chief. He wanted me just to bring it up. I can bring it up to public comment. They're saying they gonna go to one, but I'm. We're just, I think you guys should try all the burning.
There's been a couple fires on Mullen Trail, one I think.
They've had 8 calls in like 6 days.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
Yeah.
this is Jackie, if I can comment.
Yes, you may, Jackie.
Okay, I have a meeting with DNRC at 10 o'clock. They're gonna start doing our weekly meetings, and they kind of wanted an update from the commissioners. What your thoughts were before that 10 o'clock meeting. I know we did have over at Gold Creek last week, there was some logging equipment that the crew had left, and then like 2 hours later, there was a fire around where the logging equipment was. So, and thankfully it was put out, but we've had like 2 swather fires, a trailer on the freeway fell off of its vehicle, and that continues to boil up along interstate. Last Friday night, there was some people hitting a metal target, just doing some shooting practice, and it sparked a fire. So we are pretty tender on this end of the valley. As Scott said, there's been 8 fires since the 4th of July. So if you guys could pass along what you would like me to tell DNRC today during that 10 o'clock meeting.
So what was level 2 now? I can't remember.
what's that?
What's level 2?
They pretty much know there's not even campfires, I think.
So check on the stage 1, it's like equipment, logging equipment, they stay for 2 hours afterwards and just monitor around. Fires can be started, but they have to be in designated areas. Smoking has to be inside the vehicles. And so it's not restricting like campfires and things like that. It just needs to be designated.
Where go level 1 then?
Is this something that we can put
Yeah,
as an emergency measure on the agenda?
yeah, well, it's not on the agenda, but you can talk about it as an emergency major. I potentially the next few weeks probably have an agenda item just on
Yeah.
possible fire restrictions. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what DNRC thinks, but yeah,
Like I said,
yeah,
I'm
one,
just scared.
yeah.
Even with those designated areas where the wind's been blowing, it's gonna take that.
So,
get
yeah.
sparks and stuff. We got wind down there, yesterday it's 35 miles an hour. I mean, that's just
Blowing up here.
The county only regulates non-state and federal lands, and DNRC would handle state. Forest Service, federal.
Well, and I was in conversation with Fire Warden O'Connor on Sunday night, and he would like to see it go to a stage 1 and was wondering if there can be like a resolution in place that can be activated at any time. Or, you know, as deemed necessary.
So, yeah, that could be done, or the commission can just do a resolution today on setting stage 1, establishing stage 1. Is that what the commission?
I mean, a resolution,
Yeah,
how do you do a resolution when it has to be?
so I think he was talking about as soon as potentially DNRC says stage 1, then the county would follow suit, but I'd encourage you to do it today. That's what you're wanting.
Is by resolution?
Yeah, by resolution. I have the resolution ready.
Okay, so that doesn't have to be read twice, it can be done
Emergency, yeah,
emergency resolution.
Yeah,
Okay, is there a motion for emergency resolution?
Yeah, I guess I'd make it.
for stage 1.
For stage 1? Okay,
You wanna go to 2?
And I was thinking, but we better just start out with one being DNRC is, I guess. I'm just scared that even in these designated areas, it's gonna be.
So what stage are we? We made
No,
a stage.
no stage, well,
No.
the sheriff hasn't been issuing any fire permits, but we're not in any stage right now, so. One would be the beginning of it, if you're good with that.
And you can always resend that if we get rain or things change too.
Yeah, good point.
It has been a motion
Good second.
and a second. Is there any public comment? Go ahead, Elena.
Good morning. I'm trying to find it right now, but I kind of subscribe to the town of Drummond. And there was an alert received a few days ago. And it basically was from the sheriff saying that there was a fire kind of restriction. And so it'd be interesting if the county should or could have the same thing where an alert goes out by email to everybody. And then maybe more people would subscribe and get these alerts. And that the newspaper can get it, the radio, whoever, you know.
Well, we'll,
Thanks.
we'll send it to all the newspapers and radio, but reverse 911, that would be the sheriff. We could talk to him about that.
He said just let him know yesterday when I talked to him, figure out what we're doing, let him know if he had placed it.
Okay, so
So
any
what's the
other public?
effective date then?
Right today.
Yeah, if it's emergent, if you're doing it at an effective date immediately. Yeah. We'll get the notice out to all the
Okay.
news organizations.
Okay, Jackie, you got all that down. You can tell your people at
I
10.
do. And then Blaine, I have one question. That resolution needs to be sent into DNRC in the state.
Yeah.
Will you take care of that? You or
Yeah,
Bill?
I can take care of that. It's the same contact as last summer or the,
I will send you a new email. It's it was, yeah, I will send you that info.
I'll send it to all the local news and the
Yeah, cause it,
Forest Service.
yeah, when I just got a new email for somebody else taking care of that, so.
Okay,
Okay, all in favor?
All right,
Aye. Did you say aye?
Mhm.
Oh, you're not in favor?
Well, I was thinking going to two, so I didn't know that's what.
Okay.
I mean, I think you guys probably should start one, but I'm just scared if we don't.
Well, who made the second?
You.
you did,
Oh, I did?
yes.
You said I seconded.
Whoops.
My comments, yes, I think we should go a little further, but
Okay,
it's all right,
okay. So, but we can probably amend that.
if we have to.
Could even do it during the week if you had to, but yeah, I'd have it on next Tuesday, each Tuesday now, a possible fire
That's
restriction.
what we did last
Yeah.
year, start having it every week, talking
Yeah.
about it.
What do
so
you-
it's gonna be effective we'll do it next Tuesday.
No, it's the stage one's effective now, but you can have it on every week if it needs to be rescinded or go up.
Kind of like the dam.
Yeah,
Kind of like damn situation.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll get that resolution then. Bring it
Yeah,
out.
it's still pretty green though, not that way.
It's not down that way.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
So,
just saying that.
Yeah, the county's.
To go to level 2 out there would be way too.
Okay,
We'll see.
okay, all right, okay, thanks, Blaine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Okay, I think we're close enough to 9:35 to go into correspondence. And I will get that. So the first one is from the town of Drummond. And it is an email to Billy with a picture, and it has been brought to the attention to the town of Drummond that there is a hole in the bridge on South Main. And Mayor Leeper requested a picture to email to Granite County. I do believe that Scott, you have notified
And Paul already got the email and taken care of, he's gonna get old Knife River, so he can get some, we'll patch it, or he's
Okay.
gonna make sure, he's gonna give it. His on when he's here,
Okay,
So it's all taken care of?
it's not fixed yet, he's gotta get the stuff from Knife River, but he'll give the update on when he gets here.
is it a different thing than? It's not
Nah,
like
it's just
this
kinda
stuff.
like it broke out and down, like there might have been a hollow spot there, just a rock or something. He looked at it all.
Okay, our next agenda item is, our next agenda item, sorry, our next correspondence. This is from the Montana Department of Transportation. And it is the DUI task force plan for July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. This is informational and does not need to be on the agenda. The next is an email from Paul Alt, and it is responding to an email from Debbie Peters on residents who drive Travelers Home Lane. They need to be bladed, and Paul responded that they have it on the schedule and just waiting for the fiber company. If it's all marked and locates, we can't blade them out, but they're as soon done. Thanks, sent to my. It's anyway, he responded to her email saying that yes, they know about this and they are getting it on their schedule. Fix. The next email, or the next is a technical memorandum from Burlington, what is it?
BNSF.
BNSF.
Yeah.
Burlington Northern San Francisco Railroad.
Yeah.
That used to be what, and now what, and then what. Okay, so what it is locations, and there's pictures, and it's on the website of all the towers and things that have to be put up along the rail line. I think it's just an informational copy, and anyone that wants to look at it and see exactly where these towers are going to be placed can look on the website, and it's there for your perusal or whatever. So this isn't anything that has to be on the agenda, as it's just informational coming from BNSF on where they're putting towers in Granite County. Okay, we do have another email from Susie Brown. And this is concerning an agenda item. And that I don't know if we want to read it now or read it.
I think we can just do it right when Paul's here.
Okay, so what this is she's gonna try to join us on Zoom, and it is her opinion on the agenda item with Paul on the
Surface and are looking into getting a new grade.
on a new
Who's this
grader,
from?
so.
Susie Browning.
Okay, that's it for correspondence. Is there any public comment? Correspondence. Okay, Being none, we'll go right into public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction. Is there any public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction?
We got public comment on this?
So was that informational thing, do we have the actual permit, was that the permit?
No, all that information went to Linda and then she thought it best that you guys look at it, but she didn't see any issues with it, but that you guys should see it. And so Wayne had told me that it will be an encroachment permit, but to just notate it on your agenda and post it, so. We don't have a permit yet.
Okay. So in other words, what we were looking at on that. BNSF. For the tower encroachment, we will have to have it on the agenda for the permit, get the permit. Or
He just brings it in, we usually sign off just like we.
so does it have to be, okay. No public comment since I've been gone. So we still have about 7 minutes left on the agenda for public comment.
Good to see, yeah.
We have 5 minutes. I'd like a closed session.
About who? Oh, you? Oh.
That'd be your call, yeah.
Okay, it's been requested that the
Closed session.
Commissioner Hinkle has a private matter concerning just himself.
Let me mute.
And we have 9:50, it is weekly report. Is Paul gonna be here?
He said he'd call if he wasn't going to, because the state was gonna meet him on Rock Creek and look at signs, but I just talked to him, he said he was just at West Moline when I had him look, make sure he knew about that hole.
Okay, our next agenda item, we're waiting for Paul. I guess during that time, we can read the email from while we're waiting for Paul. And Susie Browning.
I think it's in correspondence. They tried calling him, might be in that dead zone, but he was meeting with Chad or. Oh, the guy from the state. Pete.
Oh,
Where they're gonna put some signs out there in that new job that they're pulling down in Rock Creek and wanting it 30. Just make.
Oh, I
That I
hear
heard.
him.
That I heard his voice. What is the email?
This is concerning the potential purchase of the new grader.
Okay. You want me to read it for the record or no? No, okay.
Well, we were going to, yeah.
I didn't see it.
Do you want me to just read it or do you want to give it to you? It says, July 16, 2024, commission agenda item. Weekly report with road and bridge superintendent, potential purchase of new grader, Granite County Commissioners. For the record, I have public comment and questions on the above agenda in regards to potential purchase of a 2024 CAT 160 AWD grader. I'd like to remind the commission that resolution 2022-5 was for the consolidation of loans through the intercap loan programs for new equipment purchase for the road department. Exhibit A, that resolution includes total equipment cost of $998,134.49, which includes the following road graders: 2019 CAT 160 grader and payoff $276,428. 2019 CAT 160 grader payoff $271,995. This intercap loan was approved in 2022 for a loan period of 5 years, so Granite County is still paying on the 2019 road graders now. The road department equipment list shows 4 motor graders listed as assets. Besides the 2019 graders, there is 2013 CAT 160 M2 and the CAT 140M, which does not list a year. However, it was put into service on 2/18/16, tag 261, possibly listed on the Western States CAT sales agreement as 2011 trade proposal. The sales agreement after trade proposal of $135,000 will cost Granite County $143,125.80, 4 annual payments, and a balloon payment of $300,000 should the county purchase the grader on year 5. If it is not purchased, Granite County will have paid a total of $278,125.80 to have a 2024 CAT grader, which includes the value by Western States for the 2011 trade-in. This appeared to be nearly the same debt as the 2019 graders that are now being paid off through the intercap loan. What is the reason for the purchase of a new grader? Why is it needed? How many road graders does the county need to maintain the gravel roads? How many of the employees can operate the newest road graders that have had training to do so? How many equipment hours do you put on each road grader every year? Time and again, each fiscal year, 2210 road fund must be supplemented with PILT money for expenditures in the road department. What would the Granite County Commissioners do if PILT monies were not available? PILT money was not available. I appreciate your time and consideration of my public comments and answers to my questions. I gratefully hope that you will act in fiscal responsible manner for the taxpayers of Granite County. Regards, Susan Brown. Suzanne.
Okay, we have our road and bridge superintendent all out with this now. So if you want to give your weekly report, then we'll go on to the agenda items in your weekly report.
We got Donna at Henderson Creek with the gravel down there, and now we are down at on the road behind the mill and hall, which is another road that is on our schedule to do. We should finish that this week if everything goes good.
That's a cold back lane.
Okay, we have Henderson.
Done.
Got a little over a mile.
So you're working on Henderson,
A little bit more.
pardon me,
It's a little bit more than a mile there.
okay, and then Colbert. Do you have his? Where are we at on our gravel plan for 2024? You could look at that list and tell us where we're at.
Well, on the lower side, we have
Henderson's done.
yeah, Henderson's done. That's it.
We didn't haul nothing up there though, right?
No.
So
Okay.
Henderson's done?
Yeah,
Okay,
So that's 1,000 yards, a little more, wasn't it?
yeah, it was more than that,
okay,
but. Yeah, and then we're on the,
And Bear Gulch, there's nothing, and we're just starting on Coldback Lane
okay, starting on Colbert,
today.
okay,
And then Gillespie sawmill, none of them we haven't. seen.
none of that stuff done.
okay, so the only thing that we actually have done. And then Travelers, you just got an email, you got that email for Travelers, it was,
Yeah, I answered that,
yeah, you answered that, we read it in correspondence.
so we'll have that. Oh,
Is that that same stretch that we were talking about?
yeah. And they've got it all marked out, guys, you just can't go, they'd have to redo it all. So I talked to him. Blackwood this morning, and they're gonna give me an exact date when they're gonna be there to do that. And then we'll get a blade up there.
But that's a sign for it.
Yeah. And then it's, the bottom's all rough, you know, but. Yeah, that's fine. They're just ripping it up with this fiber optic and there's no sense doing it twice.
No,
So, okay, I guess keep this list with us and going
Yeah,
forward,
then we can move
we're
on.
in progress.
Yeah,
I don't know if we wanna, is this something that we wanna put on the website that we're working on?
Yeah,
It's kind, I mean, we can, but it's just kind of us. so
Yeah, it
we
isn't
don't-
really, it's okay, all right. Okay,
It's just something that when he comes in, we can ask him where he's sitting and
Yeah.
how much gravel and.
right.
And I
Right.
told him they got all that gravel, they're crushing out here again, crushing down there. So. It's taking time.
Yeah, all there is to it. And as far as that, hole there in Drummond, it's right before the bridge in the bottom. And, we'll just break it out, fill it in, and
what road is it on?
it's on that.
South Main.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
Right,
yeah, there we, in correspondence, Mayor Leeper sent us a picture of the whole,
Oh, okay,
that's. So,
yeah, just north of the. In Butler.
okay.
just something. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just vibration, you know. Not settled there.
Yeah,
Not traffic.
Oh, trainer.
okay, we, read the email, I think, I don't know if you wanted to look it over again on Susie's comment on why we need a new grader.
one thing you could do is answer the questions on verbally, and it could be the.
She
could be
was
said-
able to
or-
join
oh,
the
she's-
session
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's,
today.
Okay.
she's here, I see. she's
Okay,
here, so,
okay.
Yeah. Why do we need a new grader? And not because it's a good deal, why do we need one? When we can only run two, and right now we're only running one, because we only have one water truck. And we only have two water trucks. So why, and we're not running all four that we have.
well, when you're snow plowing, you need more for snow plowing.
Then we run.
Because we got way down there in the north end, and then we got in Drummond, and we got a whole bunch of roads there.
Well, what's wrong with
And
it?
then we have roads up here.
Is it broke down and doesn't work or what?
No, it runs, it's the point of, the whole point of it is just to keep our stuff upgraded. If we wanna go back to having just all old stuff. That's your guys' decision. You know?
It's
Yeah.
not all old stuff, it's, and I'm against this, and you guys know I am, I don't feel, I think we need to get out of debt before we even look at it, I can see, okay, it's a good deal, we're gonna get. A year, waiting for a year. To get training and they'll buy it back. But buyback, and I know last week you said something that they'll buy back something, but. Is the buyback on the grader that we just bought, or is it the buyback on any grader? And you said it was any grader, they'll give us 300,000 for it.
No. The buyback is on the new.
On the new grader, so in 5 years, we
Yeah.
could sell it back to them for 300,000, and that's
Guaranteed,
the good deal
yeah. That's
for a
the,
new one.
that's the
That's
kind of
300,000.
government buyback that we've been involved with. That's what that is, and. What we've been doing is. Keeping the newest one and trading in the oldest one.
That hasn't been, historically, we don't rotate them every 5 years and buy new graders, they're a little bit more spendy than. I think if we have vehicles that run and there's nothing wrong with them, I don't feel that we should indebt ourselves any further until we're out of debt. Okay, that's just my opinion. I'll let you guys carry the show from here on the potential purchase of a new.
So the
grader.
one we trade in, this is 2011,
11.
2011, so it's not 5 years.
13.
13 years.
Say that again.
It's 13 years, not 5 years.
It's 13 years old.
I'm not saying that, I'm not saying, it hasn't been Granite County's policy to rotate and trade in, which I understand we've had junk, but you bought new junk. I mean, not new junk.
You-
I just think my opinion is that if something, the way stuff's going, and at least we can have a warranty on it. And with that trading, they'll guarantee, and then we can have more people running stuff. I mean, it's coming that they, we're taking on more roads, we're gonna need more stuff. And that's just my opinion.
Okay,
I'm for it.
we also get, our, to balance out, we get $500,000 out of pill, which,
And some of that pill plans, like we, I said too, that we just kind of put ourselves in hold when we did all this, all the mailings and that, we should have slowed down and looked there. That was a bad decision. It's not a bad decision, but we did it, but we should have kind of kept a little closer eye.
Bad decision for what?
I guess that we should have kept a little closer eye so we didn't spin, put ourselves so far in a hole before that we had to take pill out. It should have just kind of. We just went at it balls to the wall and did it. It's done over. I mean, there's a lot of good roads, but that was kind of, we should have kept a little closer eye on the spending and.
So we can get more guys trained up.
Yeah, we got 4 out of 6 right now. And yeah, we're obviously gonna have to train more because we'll have some people gone within a year. And one of these days, we're gonna probably have to hire a bigger crew. That's. Bad.
Yeah, they all need to run. That's the whole deal, is that way.
They want everybody to be able to run everything, you know. You just can't train them during the,
Well, the way the county is now, the way I'm looking at it, the way the county is now, we can't go back to where we were. Because I did a lot of work myself on the East Fork Road back in the day. And I could get no cooperation from commissioners, and nobody ever went out there hardly. And then when they did, they didn't have a wing on the grader. I'm still looking at it,
that's understandable, Chuck, but let's get the intercap loan paid off. Then look at it. I'm sure there's still, CAT's still gonna give us a good deal. What's wrong with getting the intercap loan paid off instead of adding, which this wouldn't be on the intercap loan. Would be added to the debt of the intercap loan, and we have what, a couple more years on it. What's a couple more years?
A lot more money for a grader. I know, cause you see how stuff goes up. We're not arguing. I'm
No,
just
that's
saying.
fine, it's
I
what
guess
you're,
that's my opinion, like, you just see how much stuff's actually gone up. I mean, look at groceries, look at everything. It's. I mean, if we wanna wait a couple of years and then.
it went back in the capital loan, gonna be paid.
is there a motion on the purchase of a new grader?
I'll make a motion on it. Purchase new grader.
I'll second.
Is there any public comment?
in your motion, I would give the, yeah, the amounts of the
We did it
grader.
last week.
But I would just put it in your motion, so.
Let's
it's
hear it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I would just say agreeing to the purchase and the sales agreement dated 5/10/24.
So like on the back page, the sale price is $476,275. And what's this balloon mean? 300,000? Is that buying it back in 5 years?
yeah,
Yes. Interest rate 6.49%. Would be 6 annual payments. And it's 2024 grader.
The annual payments.
Susie, go ahead. Susie has a comment.
Okay. See. Hmm.
This would be.
We're trying to get you, Susie.
Yeah, I'm sending the unmute request.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
Commissioners.
Here, yeah.
I'm sorry for that. Thank you, commissioners. I've been listening to what you've been saying, and you've been talking about the graders, and I've been hearing some snow plowing, and of course they have wings on them and do a better job. But in concerns with the gravel roads, isn't a smaller road grader needed when you had to purchase smaller plow trucks because you have some areas that were where your other trucks were too big? And so what if you need a smaller grader to use on those roads?
A lot of times.
Go ahead.
This is Scott. You get them lighter graders and that, and they don't do a good job. It's nice to have them heavier ones, and these are 6-wheel drive for in winter time, but if you have a heavier grader, you can actually blade better because you can dig and go where you're not bouncing and start washboard.
Will you be able to do the roads that you have to use the smaller plow trucks on with that grader?
Plowing, you're just taking the snow off, and then throwing sand down. I'm talking about a lighter grader when you were asking about, on the roads to cut the edges and that. It's nicer to have you can ask pretty much anybody about that them heavier ones just do a better job because they don't start bouncing. And
One other thing, in snow plowing with the bigger ones, I mean, they can make snow drifts, berms out there in those fields. I mean, just bidding it as go. I mean, in hours, they can be done with like 3 miles of major snow drifts, berms. And back in the day when they had old, you couldn't even get out there.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioner Hinkle. I realize what they can do. Not that I know how to do it, but I hear what you're saying. I do, but don't the 2019s do that job now?
Yeah, they do. But if you upgrade, then we'll continue doing that in the future. I mean, pretty soon, the 2019, if you go another 5 years, then they're gonna be pretty old graders.
How often do you use the graders for snow plowing?
Every winter.
I mean, every day?
Not every day. But
Depending on the amount of snow.
yeah, that and the ice, because they got the picks on them that you can actually cut the ice off the roads.
Okay.
Or the snow. I get they just not set up for, breaking the plow the snow off, and then you throw the sand, the roads get froze, at least you have the picks to dig it.
One other comment, when you were making your motion, or it was discussed also, the buyback would be 300,000. And I myself don't think the buyback program is a bad thing. I just think right now, because of the debt the county has, it's just not a good idea. And if you do it, yes, they'll buy it back for 300,000, but that means you get another road grader. It's just a circle. That's what it is. And when the county first got started in that buyback program, that's what we were doing. But at a point in time, there got to be too much equipment bought. And that's when it got consolidated, which was a good idea at a lower interest rate. I understand that. So I don't want the misconception that, well, if we had this for 4 years and we give it back, we're gonna get 300,000 from Western States, because it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It goes towards another one. It's the buyback program.
And another thing, we never ever upgraded nothing, we just kept running and we broke down more, look at the snow plows and that, look, we broke down more and we didn't get anything done.
Well, your
Yeah.
2019s were probably on a buyback program, but because so much equipment, because you did that in 2022. And so they were on a buyback program, but you got into so much equipment that you had to take and get an intercap loan of almost, what is it, $998,000. And so, that kind of put the buyback program away for a bit. It did. I thank you. I think that you should get your intercap loan paid off first and then go back. You just recently got belly dumps. You have a water truck that's been sitting in Drummond for a very long time. You shouldn't have graders out on the road if you don't have water trucks with them. You need water to grade roads. So I don't think you're using too many right now. You aren't. And so that's just my opinion. I appreciate it. I think maybe you should take a look at some of the equipment. You got new belly dumps. What are you doing with the one belly dump that isn't well, excuse me, I'm getting on another subject. I apologize. Never mind that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susie.
What,
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. For the record, I kind of tend to agree with Susie. She brought up a lot of good questions and a lot of good comments, especially about the debt that this county is kind of in. And I think it should be looked into further. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Blaine.
you could look at intercap again. I mean, that is an option and not the buyback program. So something for you to consider. I'm not sure what their interest rates are right now. So.
Any other comment? Any other comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? I'm opposed. You 2 ayes and 1.
Okay.
You said aye.
And the reason, I would one more comment to answer your question, the reason that we're only running one grader right now is because that we've decided, or you guys decided, we were gonna try not to hire any contractors this year. So we have all our guys working together in hauling with everything we can possibly do, and that's why we can't run two.
But we only have 1 water truck, right?
Yeah, we're waiting on that computer. and
So
stuff.
that's why only 1 grader.
But we'd still only be running one because we have everybody working together.
We put all the crews together, so.
Which, yeah,
We
So,
agree.
yeah.
And there's nothing like to Susie's comment, there's nothing we can do. We gotta wait on the parts. I mean, what can we do unless if she knows how to get the parts better and faster?
okay,
The parts are coming for us.
They are,
yeah.
We talk about it every week and try to figure it out. I mean, we've changed the fuel pumps, we've done everything.
coming from North Carolina.
so our next item in your weekly report with Road and Bridge is the Burlington Northern San Francisco Communication Tower encroachment.
That.
No, those are just a couple of,
And apparently you will receive, oh,
And he'll
Did
look
they-
at, he'll
did they-
look at it to see if it's a good approach and that, and then that's when they have to fill it out too.
They haven't done an application yet. Oh,
We
yeah.
have got-
we got information from them. And it's a bunch of pictures. I don't know, have you looked at it?
I haven't got anything yet.
We just got that.
And it just shows where they're going to be putting their towers.
And it'll end up being kind of like that Blackwood, you know, if there's a abundance of them, you just not to use this thing for Blackwood.
Someone may need to sit down with them and give them an application. I'm not sure if that's been done.
I'll,
All good.
reach out and find out for sure where they wanna do it.
Maybe you could burn me a copy of these, huh?
Yeah, do you want? Yeah.
this is on the website if you get two, so you would take that one. You can take that one.
Just take
Yeah.
that one.
I can print another one.
There's so much.
Well, thanks.
It's all,
Yeah.
Computer.
it's all code. Take.
So you don't know.
Comment
what
on
the-
the solid waste, getting still a lot of complaints about the hour thing. I got jumped this morning again. I said, it's just what we did.
There were, it's transitional, and this happened when they put the time from 8 to 4. There was complaints, I guess they used to it, deal with it.
Maybe a couple of weeks and then we'll go away.
Did you hear anything on the water though?
No, check.
So they're calling you,
Well, I got jumped this morning.
Oh.
It's, I get it every day. It's all right. My job.
okay. Anything else we have for Paul? Okay, go ahead, Suzie.
While the road and bridge superintendent is there, can you tell me what's going to happen with the belly dump that is not operational?
Probably haul it to Pacific and trade it for iron we can use.
Has that been done yet?
No. We're not done taking the stuff off of it. We're gonna keep, like the cylinders and the valve banks and
All right.
all that stuff that we can use. We're gonna strip it first.
If somebody can do it in off time.
Right.
Did you think about selling, and I know that the county attorney mentioned this, that you can sell it as is, where is? That maybe somebody else, you might get more money than you will scrapping it?
Well, I don't know, but once we take everything off that we can use. And we've had so much trouble with it on the road as far as windshield and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, it makes no difference to me either way, it's up to you guys. But,
You're saying not even really fixable?
well, it's, we welded on it, we've done, changed all kinds of. Put iron in the gates, it just leaks, and I feel like we sell it to somebody, well, and then it comes back on the county because. Well, you sold this and now all this rock just fell on. I don't know if that's,
I mean,
Will the stuff you're taking off of it fit on the other belly dump, the other older belly dump?
yes, it will.
And so then you will plan on keeping it for a long while instead of replacing it, since you'll have parts, is that correct?
Just depends on how long it'll hold gravel.
It might be better to sell as is, where is. You release your liability, whoever bids on it takes it as it is. You might get more value.
one problem with as is it doesn't, if it's as is applies to latent or known defects, it doesn't apply to unknown defects. That feels a liability, in my opinion. I would strip it and sell it. Or parts, that's my advice.
Do we have
Thank
another?
you.
Thank you, Suzie.
Thank you, Blaine.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, go ahead, Elena.
Okay, I hope Susie was finished with her comments, questions, because I'm going back to the BNSF that you were discussing. There's 46 pages. Can you tell me what pages specifically refer to Granite County?
We just got it, Elena, and then Paul's taking it to look it over to make sure it's even the county road or county easement.
Oh, okay, because I figured, you guys get this stuff and you should have looked at it before you could even come up with anything, but,
That's why we gave it to the superintendent. 'cause that-
46 pages. There's a lot of stuff that's a lot of pages and it's not read for the record and it's not gone into. So this is going to be on the agenda, I assume, for next week report.
They have to do a
One at a
encroachment,
time, please. Go ahead, Blaine.
they have to do an encroachment permit application, so yeah, this is just the initial discussion on it.
And
I
I
know-
just asked specifically which pages refer to Granite County, because I noticed some of these pages are Kansas City. That's all I'm saying. Is it gonna be on for next week
I
for
see that.
further discussion?
It would be on sometime, I'm not sure when the commission will have it on for, it. Probably need to have their application in for, so we can, that'll be then the, what they can decide upon.
If you look at each page, it shows you that it's in Granite County. The Kansas City address you're looking at is actually from this technical. From BNSF. So every page shows where it's at in Granite County. Every one of these pages shows Granite County.
I don't know. You better check on that because I saw
All
another
Granite
one
County. They're not.
and
Yeah,
had a different
not
place
Kansas
on.
City. May I finish, please?
Okay. Why would it come from Kansas City?
Cause that's probably one of their main
On the
offices.
bottom of the page,
Yeah.
Blaine, it shows
Yeah,
Kansas City.
that's Burlington Northern's address.
That's what they told us when they're at the LAPC meeting too. A lot of times when emergencies, it goes back there and then they flood it out here, cause that's where their dispatchers are.
Every page shows up in the upper right-hand corner that it's in Granite County. It's towers in Granite County going along the BNSF.
Yeah, the-
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I see it on page, then on page 6, it has all of it. There it is, Granite County. Thank you very much.
So the
Thank you.
county consideration for this would just be. Encroachment off the county road would be the, I believe.
We gotta
the
look at
scope
it.
of, yeah, so we gotta know specific, you have to receive
Encroachment permit.
their application, yep.
There's nothing to do until we get the application,
We don't know more than one, sorry.
you know. This is preliminary, and they might say, okay, we're gonna do 8 of them, or
Can't stop it anyway.
absolutely not, so. But there's nothing to look at until we actually have their permit application.
Okay, we're at 10:25. Is there anything else pertaining to our weekly report with road and bridge superintendent? We're running behind. You only have what, 10 minutes with you? 15 minutes? Are we done with Paul? Is there any other public comment? Being none, thanks, Paul. Okay, the next thing we're a little behind is the dam tenders report with George Town Lake outflow and
Well, this is gonna hurt. I looked at it yesterday. Going down.
Oh, the lights going
what you
out?
guys talking about?
It's just gonna hurt. Looking at this. Because it's going down with 4.88.
All the evaporation.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I guess could have commented as soon as I was finished talking. So the level is 6429.16, which is 4.08 inches below full. Okay. Now, Chuck, what do you have to say?
It hurts. 4.88 inches.
Yeah, it hurts, but you know, you look and I think they said Eastport, it's down.
Yeah, even like past years, it's probably better than a lot of past, and I guess you'd have to compare it, but I think it is.
No, I was up there on
Yeah.
Saturday and it looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, I drove by and
Yeah,
It says it's,
I did it. I mean, at least we're keeping the banks wet all the way down and. Look, it's just one of these years, look how hot it's been.
you know, you get hotter.
We've been better than a lot of them, they say that, I think we did well with maintaining and taking care of it. I guess, my opinion, stay at 30, well, I think we have to do it.
How's Flathead doing? Is it,
You know,
Oh, you
they
know?
shut off a whole bunch and it came up some, so,
okay,
I mean, they're scrambling too to keep water.
I'll make a motion to stay at 30.
I'll second it.
Is there any public comment? Things none, all in favor? Aye.
It's just scary how much evaporates. At one time we got Mike, found some guy, he looked it up and how much we actually lose when it's like a 20-mile-an-hour wind going across there. And, you know,
Oh, it's been so hot and windy up there.
I went down to Beaver Tail Pond to see what, you should see all the dead fish laying in there because the water's so hot, all its boners are. It's crazy.
Okay, the next agenda item is monthly claims, review and approval. Grant that you saw that you needed to look at.
Got a minute, you wanna go upstairs and help me put that
Yeah.
air conditioner in?
yeah,
Is that all right? I'm just going to claim. Harold office asked if maybe Dwayne I could help take their air conditioner and.
getting warm in our office this week.
We got a couple minutes while you're doing that, is that okay?
How's your back?
Good.
Mm.
Not for long.
She's taking ibuprofen.
I know.
Maybe the headache.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
Oh, did you guys sign the
Oh,
the resolution?
Hmm.
Here, you start with this one.
Well, that's not even on the agenda yet. Oh, the resolution.
Yeah, for the
Yeah,
the stage one
the emergency.
emergency.
Hey, I noticed you have, see where my circle is?
Oh, yeah. Good catch. I think she's still getting the numbers too.
Okay.
This is yeah, might have to have it on 2 more times,
Okay.
but good catch. Oh,
Perfect, thank you.
16.
Yes.
Documents. Statement.
Thank you.
Did you notice the $78,000 in GIS? For stuff for sheriffs?
Wow. A lot of money.
Stuff with the sheriff,
Yeah,
yeah, that happens all the time.
bumper to bumper. I mean, it's not one vehicle, is it? It's all of them, or?
I haven't seen it.
Dash cams, okay, dash cams. MBT installation.
I would think so.
So all the vehicles. New dash cams. And we're able to take that out of. Our forest reserve money, apparently.
Oh, very nice. That worked out really well.
So this excise tax is 0.5%.
5%. 0.5.
It says 0.5. Where is it?
I don't think. 0.05% should be 0.05%.
Yeah,
5%.
they have full 0.5.
Yeah,
It's wrong.
I would think. What does it say, 0.5? Cause that's 50%. 0.5.
No, 0.5. So isn't that 0.5%?
Oh, maybe.
Because this would be a 1% if it was a 1. 2.
0.5%, 0.5.
So what do we want? We want 5%?
But they have to, that's not bringing bill in, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to bring it.
Well, get that explained, because usually I always thought that. It was like 3% is what they could do, but
Yeah,
that doesn't even look right, is that?
no, because that, to me, that's a 0.5%,
Yeah,
1%.
so if it would be 0.005. For a decimal point. If it was 0.5%. Because 0.05,
Well, 1% would be just 1.
yeah,
1.0 would be 1%, 2.0 would be 2%, 3.0 would be 3%. Like putting the decimal point and then 5, to me, that's a 0.5%.
Yeah. 0.5.
So it's gotta be way more than that.
Oh, okay, I get you. I was thinking 5%. No, you're right. 1%. So they're just asking a 0.5%.
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, we question that. There could be typo or something. But yeah, they did 7. Seven laptops, 7. Vehicle, blah, 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 blah. Wow.
It seems like they update that every few years. I've seen that before. Something like that, no.
Say that again.
I've seen something like that before with the sheriff. I think they update it like every couple of years or something.
That's a lot of money. Which they probably have to. Yeah, we talked about this. Everybody left me.
Yeah, they did.
Needs to sign that. It's just. Yeah. Watch me.
And on that fire thing, I guess I'm so scared. I know maybe it's a little green out there, but I'll tell you, it only takes one little spark. These campfires, you know, the way the wind's been blowing.
And it is windy.
Yesterday, 35-mile gust. They just said that fire down there's up to 1,800 acres. It's still. Hopefully I get called.
And I don't remember, I could hear myself say, I second it.
He's on.
Shame on me.
I have lots of on.
Keep putting totals on.
And I know, I was gonna say something. I just-
Yes.
God, they've done a good job. I mean, I know we've needed it, thank God they.
Yes.
Boy, they've done, you know, serious. I mean, I'm not, I mean, I thank God, you know, it's kind of like we had Nate. Jimmy. I guess our signs must be still doing good up at the lake. Huh?
That's good.
I went by, they were still standing.
I'm just kind of curious after the weekend. Maybe they figured enough's enough. 4 sets of them cones, $30 a piece.
Oh, forgot to tell you. They bladed, Forest Service bladed all the road between Georgetown and East Fork. Where we, remember I said it was really rough, they should go blade that. Well, while they're doing the other, anyway, bladed is really nice, they brushed it all.
Good.
Pulled the ditches, cleaned the culverts.
Maybe
What road is that?
On the road that they said they had no money to do.
Oh,
Lake Shore.
Huh?
On the Lake Shore one or?
No, it's the road between Georgetown Lakes and East Fork, there's one. 672. I mean, it was horrible shape. And now it's just
is
all,
that the one that we were trying to get a loan for?
no,
No,
it's
that's
a Forest Service road.
Oh.
I remember I said, why don't you, while you're waiting for the gravel trucks to get back up there, take the grader while you're a grader and go down there and work on the 672 road. Anyway, they went all the way to the lake.
So they can do road work.
So, yeah, like I said, it was all brushed, they had a cutter in
Should
there.
send them a letter, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing your own road.
No, it's really nice.
Good, it's cool to hear. Had a lot of complaints on the bicycle race.
Really?
Real. The
I,
guy calling me, he's jumping me about how can you shut the road down in Pemer? I did shut the road down. Steve.
Oh,
That's all.
someone
That's
called
the
about that and
city. There was a
yeah,
lot of.
I told
upset
them the
people.
city,
You shut the road down in town?
Yeah, he couldn't get up to the bank and
the
stuff.
post
and-
office or anything all day Saturday. Yeah, we got it. There was a couple of calls here on the answering machine from
Couple
Saturday.
people were complaining, they were trying to get by him and they wouldn't get over. It's just a bad deal. I mean, not bad.
There wasn't like, I didn't leave my house because I was in fear of having to deal with it. But I could watch them, go by and I never noticed like a big clump of them. It would be like 3 and then a little while later, 1 or 2, like it was just a continuous. But they weren't,
Did they have the turnout they thought they would? I never talked to them.
I don't know, but and then I wasn't really paying attention, but I never saw a big group of bikers go by.
Okay, we have 10:45. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to accept the claims.
I second it.
Is there any public comment? Okay. Motion carried and pass. All in favor, whoops, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried and pass. Okay, our next agenda item is the update on the time clock project.
It's kind of hard to on this time clock deal, you know, it's, we still have to go through the union and try to get their blessing on it. And he told me that a year ago that they would not do it. I didn't know that you had to have a union.
Well, there's been a change, maybe we should try it again.
We do have a new union rep. What's his face retired? Craig Davis.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's Megan.
Well, maybe we should get them on board before we try to make a.
Well, we also want to hear from all the department heads
I'm
because,
just going by what I know what
Yeah.
the union is. Yeah, the department heads weren't happy with it. And I thought we were just checking in. I didn't realize we were buying it. I thought we still gonna check in, make sure everybody's on board. Nothing like that.
So if we try again, that would get all department heads to,
probably, I would think. I have another session with them. We probably should have put this out to them and asked their opinion. Right now, because before we couldn't move forward because of the union saying we can't absolutely do it. Didn't they say it's illegal, we can't?
Yeah, he said that they went after Flathead and won, is what he told me. Remember, I called him. And he,
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess with the new representative, can we get a hold of
Megan. Her name is Megan.
Meg's
Yeah.
and find out what her thought is, or what we can and can't do before we make a move. Talk to the rest of the heads.
And
Because if we
this,
can't go through them, they're not just, these are here ain't gonna go with them.
and the reason for this is because of the fact that the former rep said we absolutely couldn't. And he's no longer the rep for Granite County Road and Solid Waste. So I guess we'll,
Put it on for next week and then if she can get a hold, get some information from her and then we can actually know what. Then we got a place to start. Right now, we're kind of looking at it like
yeah, and maybe Billy get it out to department heads,
Okay.
have
their
each,
opinions again.
have each head department come in,
Okay.
Head department or department head,
department head. What's the difference?
I'm being a brat, okay? Okay,
I'll give a public comment.
go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Just for a point of clarification, are you talking about the letter from Marissa Ramirez? About the
Yes.
time clock?
Yes,
Okay. And so this is going to be on the agenda for next week and you're getting in touch with her. So she'll know and she'll be on the call to answer questions or anything like she requests on that letter.
no, this actually came from the payroll clerk and was asking. Please advise on this matter because she received from Time Clock Plus. Whether or not, this is whether or not we're going to even go forward with Time Clock Plus. Because of the fact that when we tried to do this last year, the union rep for the road union said absolutely not, we couldn't have time clocks, so it was tabled.
Okay, because I read the letter
Yeah, we
different.
don't need any questions from Marissa, whether or not, it's whether or not we even go forward with Time Clock Plus.
Because it says, I would like to schedule a call at your earliest convenience to better understand your current requirements and any obstacles.
That's why we have.
And so I think that, you know, she would. Thanks, never mind. Thank you.
So, Billy,
Yes.
I don't know if Becky needs to reach out or if you need to reach out with Marissa. stating that as, at this time, we're not going forward until we get more information.
I can send her a response and then I'll just CC Becky on it and
Okay.
let her know that you guys are gonna meet and discuss it with your department heads and your union reps before making.
As far as any kind of problems on her end, there aren't any.
No.
This is on our end with the union rep and with the department head. We just were discussing it.
Oh, okay.
So what has happened is when, the union said absolutely not. And they proved that they could sue us. But then we have a new union rep, so we're gonna reach out to that new union rep.
Get hold of her right away and then we have somewhere to start. 'Cause right now, he said that, you know, they went against Flathead and won, so.
And then we'll get, we're gonna put it on next week again, and Billy's gonna email Melissa and then CCU about, okay, we're still in process, and then we'll have the department heads come in again and,
Have everybody on board.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Thanks.
yeah, if the new union rep says that we can, because the old one said absolutely not. And
Yeah, I just have TPS, so GCST.
TCP.
Thanks.
We had to spell it out.
I just have them emailing me constantly, so
Yeah,
just let them, I
Yeah.
just need
We'll
to
get
get
a
it.
discussion decision next week to try to get this took care of.
Okay, cool, sounds good, thanks.
thank you, Becky. We've got 5 minutes before we go on the ADA.
What are they bringing to the table?
Who?
Next, be in there.
Oh, this is just monthly. They'll do these until the project's done. It's just their monthly check-in with you.
Scott's gonna be here.
Yep, it's my understanding that he'll be here.
Can we find out a little more what if the elevator's being made or whatever?
Yeah, they've been getting a lot of stuff done up there.
I was just up there help with that air conditioning.
They're moving really fast on the bathroom side of stuff, just the amount that they've ripped out and done.
Got a couple of people cleaning in the ambulance shed, Chuck. Down Drum.
Well,
Yeah, it's cleaning, they're swamping it all out and they're gonna paint it. Try to find some stuff to cover up and bricks and we'll chip it away for the seawall. They're just a couple of local women there. Yes,
ambulance people or other people?
other people, so they can find. The ambulance people don't have time, they're hanging and trying to run with calls. But they took probably 5-6 loads of crap out of it with the dump.
So what did the ambulance people say about that? Or they did that?
They're the ones, they're the ones that, they went in and got the stuff and took it out and then. They showed them what they need clean and there's like, they're gonna have to buy a few 2x4s and there's where the mice have been getting, So, get it all sealed up, really seal that brick.
So this is the last one coming from, should be the last
Yeah,
one.
so that's the only one that has a question. Yeah, 6 is,
They still making a bunch of calls?
Yep, they've been busy. They're trying to, keep up, like I said, in their hands, running the hand crank monitor, running like at midnight till whenever, it's just so hot during the day, but they're making calls. They're working, seems like they're working with that Gleason guy pretty cool too.
on the time clock thing. We're tabling it till next week because we
Okay.
have a new.
New way
Union
to
rep,
do it. Oh, yeah,
maybe visit with,
it's Megan, you
I
Uhas,
can't
or,
remember her last
I'm
name.
not sure how you say her last name, but she seems, yeah, pretty reasonable there. Did you already have the pay on, or is that later?
That's today. Oh, it
That's
hasn't
later.
come up yet.
Okay, I sent the email for the stage 1 fire restrictions to everyone, DNRC, Forest Service. Local fire department, sheriff. Everyone who.
Oh, I need
probably-
to post it on our
Oh, yeah, I
website.
put it on the website too, I sent it to you. Baggage here.
So on this excise tax, was that supposed to be 5% or?
Let me take these in.
oh, if you want,
Isn't it,
cause you want.
I see that.
I was gonna say you should have asked.
Isn't that a half percent?
Yeah.
See, for years, I was like.
It should be going
I was
back.
gonna say, when you said you're gonna
So,
go do that, I said,
um,
why don't you?
She's looking at the numbers, yeah. I think that's what Phillips County did, the 0.5, but I think Ashley's still looking at that 5.5%. She'll come in. What time is that?
So that's a 0.5%.
Yeah,
It's on
That's not
Apple
very much.
walkthrough.
yeah, I mean, you want me to look up and see what the max you can do?
I think what, 0.5% on those,
Up 100, these are like luxury items, so the vehicles are over
What's a 0.5% of
100,000. Look here. So that's 0.0.
0.05.
Three zeros.
3 zeros?
Cause, yeah, cause 5% would be 0.05, so it's gotta be 3 zeros, right? Alright,
Yeah, 0.05 would be
5%, if you have the percent, would just be fine. A 5 with a percent.
So it'd be,
It's gotta be 0.05 for
it's 5%.
yeah,
Yeah.
0.05 is fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's gotta-
0.05.
So it's gotta be 3 zeros, right?
0.01 would be 1% and half of
Yeah,
that,
It
Yeah,
would be 0.05,
so
just 5%.
so it'd be 0.00.
3 zeros, need 3 zeros. Pretty sure
I'm not good at math.
0.05 is 5%, you have 3 zeros, it'd be $50 on $100,000. $50 on $100,000 vehicle is 0.005. And then, but some of these, the vehicles are, well, motorhome. Some of these motorhomes are,
So they're even licensing motorhomes in Granite County.
I don't know,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Wade.
Didn't see me here earlier.
You want me to look up and see what, but Ashley was gonna
Well,
crunch the numbers and.
right
come
now,
back.
yeah, we need to probably, right now we have our courthouse thing walk around.
Okay,
And then we'll do our resolution. So
okay.
yeah, if you want.
And so if we're making substantial changes to the resolution, then you can have it on 2 more times, but.
Okay, we still have,
Yeah, if it's just the typo, you
Yeah.
can be a first reading.
okay, all right. Okay, so right now we're not zooming around the courthouse. We're gonna go look at the.
Are they here?
I don't.
Do
Oh, yeah, they're out there.
you want me to tell them about the drains real quick, or is that anything huge?
Do you want
On
me
the
to
roof.
Bring it up.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you have the agreement with Ace Roofing. That they were gonna carry out what Dave Kaufman wanted there, but they're the talk is if you have to do the inside curve like Dave Kaufman was going, you're gonna have to like do some major cut into walls and stuff like that, and it could just be done simply with a straight pipe. Just gonna see if you guys are good with that. That's nothing to do with Ace, it'd be the county's plumber, but I think, it's worked for years being straight. The issue was the collars up there.
I
So-
think we just stay and do it, or just put it back the way it was. We don't wanna get another great big construction out.
Yeah, I didn't understand with that curve in it that Dave Kaufman wanted that you'd have to cut into walls and stuff like that. And
That's a major,
Yeah.
start putting them, and you got, let's just put them back the way and then fix.
Put on the-
make sure that
yeah,
top-
the
the
collars.
Are fixed so they
Yeah.
don't leak, that's the whole deal.
All right, so Ace is gonna meet here with Janine and on Thursday or whatever. I'll let him know that, if that's okay, but just keep it simple.
I'll try to be here to go on with them, unless I get called on the fire, if not, I guess let's just stay with what, to make sure the collars are fixed right.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do a walk through today, or a walk up or look at, or whatever.
Oh, do you want him to go on a walk with you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
all right. You're off Zoom, are you?
Yep, so we will go off Zoom. Let me get it paused.
Ryan Covington with TCS is here to give him the walkthrough.
Why, you can put phone number on here, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
And then my last name's ADL. It's all right. Yes. My phone.
Not like the wood.
406-240-3541. Just in case something happens.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Good up there.
Yeah, that's good progress. Get electricians and plumbers to move that fast. You guys are
Yeah, you must
miracle workers.
Let's have a poll.
Yeah, Larry's good.
Everybody else is waiting.
Larry's good, yeah. That's the best.
Yeah, and luckily the way it's all been working out, is just been able to stay one step ahead of them on each floor, so
Okay,
by the time the electricians were done.
good
Roughly
communication.
that, you know, I was able to move right upstairs.
Janine there today?
No,
In just in case you had any comments.
Wade was,
Oh, is that why Wade's here? Oh,
but I mean, I haven't seen any problems.
no. It's that, you never know. Keep everybody on the same page.
For sure. Lost you.
Well, B gets the covering, have to rip up all that membrane, we've had it done a couple times, and just nobody's ever done it. I don't know, over block that, and then we started patching here and there, now, we should have never done that. Should have, years ago, just ripped the whole damn thing up.
And it needs to go up and over. Janine didn't want that done, but I think your thoughts on that and bringing that membrane up the wall and.
At least a little way so that snow. ain't sitting.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a transition spot there. The brick's so old
Yeah.
and brittle
Yeah,
that no matter what you do, put on there, it's not gonna adhere for a long time. So I don't know if we need to figure out way to prep that, and whether you have somebody goes over with a grinder and gets a flat surface on there.
yeah,
And at that point, maybe figure out a transition, like a piece of flat bar or something somebody could put on there to
yeah,
give it a place to get the water off of there,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Like some of those drains down these flatter roofs, I think I would look at having some crickets built so the water has funnels, because the water is supposed to stand up there on this one side an inch. Till it evaporates.
Cricket, you're talking about like a funnel type?
Yeah, it's that deal. Yeah, just kind of makes the water
Yeah.
all divert from one spot.
Yeah,
When it actually leaves.
Mhm. And then just getting the water off there, I know the higher roofs drain onto the lower roofs, which is kind of, how it was, but there's a lot of water. that
neat
comes off
design,
there.
but tough to maintain.
Yeah,
No, I think you're doing a good job, I think it looks good. Moving right along.
You wanna go back on Zoom?
Oh, they're back on.
Oh, back.
Moving right along.
I was gonna give him hell.
Okay, well, thanks for the tour and the update. Is there any public comment on anything?
Anything from us?
no, I don't think so.
Let's hope we wasn't.
So
asking
the-
for any.
Yeah, the bathroom, the two bathrooms are, well, three, I guess, with the judges are
The judge's back.
plumbed, electrical and insulated. So they're ready to be
Inspected,
drywall.
I'm ready to start
Inspected.
drywalling.
The women's bathroom is the later project.
So the woman's bathroom, with the election year coming up, they haven't moved the plumbers into there in a couple weeks to start roughing that in.
not gonna really do a whole lot of demolition. But we're gonna have to drop down into the drop ceiling above the lecture room like we did in the men's restroom.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go there in a couple of weeks. I'll get it all laid out and get my bottom plates all nailed in. And then the plumber can come in and get that all roughed in, ready to go. And then there won't be no debris or any reason for us to be in the election room after that point.
Sounds good. You got some time, November 5th,
Yeah.
so you got, right?
Yeah, I was
November
gonna
5th.
say November and
And then I think they're probably gotta get out some pre-ballots, probably.
Yeah.
mail-in
any kind of work, they
ballots.
can move it back to the
Yeah,
grant.
this group, they got another office in there, and if we get them bind, we just gotta work together, and just
Yeah.
everybody stay on the same, if we have, like Blanche is saying, if we have to move some of that in there, then take a couple in there and do it.
But I think we just kind of, move them in, keep the plumbers here.
Yeah. Yes.
And just kind of let them go, cause the guy I got here now, he's real good, he knows the design.
Yeah.
He's done a really clean job, nice level, everything's
Yeah.
perfect, inspector loves it, so.
Well, as I think, if they have to, we can, they'll just have to try to work around it too, but we don't dare go into a hole, and then that plumber takes off on another job. And
Yeah.
how's it,
Right,
you know,
right.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
So,
we'll-
yeah, I
we'll
just
work
like to
with
get
it,
that
work with
opened
it.
up and just get that roughed in, and then we can get the cleaning crew in here and get that room all spiffed up and.
I guess it's
And all that
staying
good
in
stuff.
touch with Sarah in there, and then if we have to, we'll just gotta work around it.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
Yes. Hey, well,
Thank you.
And then my only other really concern or have you guys look at, I'm gonna have to do it today, is the ADA parking out there. I've had Acor cut it. It's gonna make that really tight down there. I just wanna make sure everybody knows that before they go ripping everything out and start pouring concrete.
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of get rid of this whole alley here, by the way it's taken up over that, to that point. Kind of is what it is for
It
the
is what it
parking.
is.
So.
who said that?
Yeah, no,
Unfortunately, that's how it goes.
we know. we got
Is that
cut into
Forrest
it a
Gump?
little bit.
No. Hey,
And then, yeah, I think that's about.
Not too
You guys
many,
got any concerns with us?
not too many change orders, though, is
No.
staying pretty good on,
Yeah,
good, thanks.
yeah, we've been trying to stay on that. Just,
So I know.
Yeah, they only have one change order so far. I don't know if we were gonna get another one for the fans.
yeah, probably. I kind
I
of
don't
fluctuate,
think
move the
it's gonna be
HVAC, the bathroom fans around a little bit. To reuse existing holes instead of drilling through the face. So there might be a change order coming in for a little bit of piping, but it won't be very much. That way we didn't have to drill through the
Right.
face of the building.
right,
Yeah. Just gonna do it another little while.
Yeah.
Well. If you think that on the roof, they hadn't need to have. Slate look at it or need it architecture look at it or not?
I hate to pay all that money,
Yeah.
if he knows what he's looking at.
Yeah, like as far as getting it up against the walls and
Yeah, the
stuff.
idea of the wrap.
Yeah,
I mean, otherwise we spend $10,000 on somebody to come look at it. He-
Yeah, we know
look
that,
at it. I expect, we charge something to take a look at that, but at least it's not getting hit so bad by engineers.
we know all the layers have to be taken off. That's what Dave Kaufman's report said, that we got. Remove it all,
Strip that
yeah,
out.
strip it all.
so yeah, going to that extreme, let's go fall back into them crickets, see how the walls come down off them brick walls, get the water flowing. So that membrane's just not floating.
Is that something he's engineered or is that?
No, it really don't need to be
Okay.
engineered, it's
Talking
just.
to engineers, that's too much money.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure, yeah, 'cause, yeah.
It just seems.
Yeah, they're just simple add-on things that they do.
We have to have it done by winter?
Well, I'd encourage you guys to do it when they're gonna be up there cutting into it already, be up there, but.
Better get
so-
on it.
So, yeah,
Well, that's what I said, I think he's kinda asking if, give him an opportunity to look at it, and see what he thinks, and he can come back here in a week.
Then we need
2
to
weeks.
have specs for it, so, yeah, we could have it on the agenda, or when, a couple weeks or a week.
Yeah, when I get, once it gets, is there? Obviously, the roofing company you used before, you don't wanna use again, right, or?
Well, you'd have to put out for bids, but yeah, Ace was the one that did that,
Well,
yeah.
do you have to put it out for bid where he's gonna be cutting into it and trying to fix that anyway?
If it's over 80, yeah,
But I
sure,
mean,
That would just be just that one area or work area.
but with them being right there. I think you'd get a good, I mean, if someone else wants to bid, fine, but I think you'd get a good bid from TCS if they're interested.
you guys we can put it out, have somebody look, I just don't wanna get an engineer and then you're paying them all the money.
Yeah.
You could use that towards fixing. the roof.
We just need enough for it to, so someone bidding on it knows what the expectation is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wouldn't that have been in the original thing that you're gonna have to fix that?
So what they're cutting into it, that's all, and that's all already part of their existing, but the new roof itself, that's a separate.
Fixing all the old drains and stuff, the water actually goes off and that's it up there.
So
Yeah,
that's
our
not
spot-
that's not figured into the price
No,
of fixing it?
no.
Why not? No.
Now the roof's
They
completely.
got a price to tie into the
Yeah.
existing.
We should have thought of that and got it into those.
Can we do a change
Yeah.
order?
Can't do a change order if it's over 80.
Well, we've been sitting and waiting on seeing if the others were gonna cover more,
Yeah,
you know, it was kind of.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks,
bet.
appreciate it.
Good job.
Good job.
Thanks.
So,
You're
Yeah.
dismissed.
well, that does bring up a new thing with the, what Ace is doing. I mean, then theirs would just be a temporary fix right now. And then if you're gonna do new drains up there. But,
You don't have him look at it, you know, cause I mean, really, we're just babbling, and we're not quite sure what it's gonna cost, like, it wouldn't be so bad, the worst thing is tearing all that old crap anyway.
Well,
That's gonna be
that's-
that's gonna be a chore, 'cause it's
but
3 times.
maybe you could talk about dollar amount from Ace versus having them do.
Or
Yeah.
You guys could get to it before the snow flies, or if you bid on it?
Just all be depending on. The roofing companies.
Yeah,
You know, that's
Yeah.
starting to get pretty late in the
It's
year to
going
find a
under
roofing
400.
company,
alright,
but,
well, something to think
Okay,
about.
yeah,
when
this
you
will be
say
a future
something.
discussion.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But definitely think we should get roofing companies out here and see what they would recommend about rolling up those cinder block walls, you know? Which when we put a bid together, we'll have them do a walkthrough, but.
Yeah,
I mean, if
Figure
we're
out
gonna
something
do
for the
that, and if
transition.
he's up there, he can go up there and look with him, 'cause
yeah.
I don't know nothing.
I could-
about it.
I could talk to Dave Kaufman, who did the report, get his thoughts on it. He already, you know, I think you would talk to him, but
Okay.
something, yeah, for next, future agenda.
Future.
Find out when I. Thanks.
Yeah, and just, you know, how the snow sets up there on the little
Okay,
valley,
yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
lot to take in.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thanks.
thank you.
Have a good rest
Appreciate
of
it.
the day.
Alright, yeah,
Our next agenda item, we're running a little late, is resolution 2024-10. A Granite County resolution requesting a ballot issue for the general election on November 5th, 2024. Regarding a proposal local option motor vehicle tax. Hello.
Hi.
So, we have a resolution, I think it's on the web, so if there's any corrections in it, or,
So my question on the percentage is. We get that figured out,
Your question, sorry, I wasn't here for the
where it
question.
says 0.5%. Isn't that a 0.5%?
Yes,
That's all we wanna do, I thought we'd do more than that.
so the Montana code for county option does not allow for us to do more than 0.07. Most counties, currently are sitting at. Correction, all counties are sitting at 0.5%. Currently.
must be easier, I'm thinking. I don't know, it's interesting. The,
so what did you say, at 100,000, it'd be
$50,
$50?
right?
Correct.
But some of these, like you're getting motor homes that are like several hundred thousand and vehicles that are,
Well, and this is where it's good that it's just gonna be on luxury vehicles because of the fact that it's maybe, the general public is gonna understand, hey, we're just doing this on luxury light vehicles.
So that's where, I guess, sorry, Granite County Treasurer Ashley Todd.
Thank you.
Local option tax, do we want to change the wording to specifically say on the resolution that it is for luxury vehicles only? Or are we going to apply this to all vehicles within the county? And change whether or not it's going to be based off of the MSRP of the vehicle of $100,000 or more? I would actually like to see that dropped down. To be on lightweight vehicles, $90,000 and above.
the issue is, what are the voters gonna
Yeah.
vote
that's the
for?
big issue.
And I guess, yeah, you could have it on there twice, but if it gets voted down, that's a tough one. So that's probably why a lot have gone with 0.05 is to, we can look into that, but that could be a reason.
So if a business bought a truck, something for $150,000, it's gonna get taxed,
Correct,
even though it's a business,
correct.
not a luxury.
The luxury section of that wording is based off of the MSRP of the vehicle, not who is registering it.
Guess you could, yeah, once you start getting into the exceptions, then the exception becomes
Yeah, I don't know
overrides
that,
the rule.
So it can't be a luxury then, it just has to be anything over.
But that's the, I think the definition of luxury, let's look that up.
yes, so. Let me grab I have the Montana code in
Yeah,
front of me
I'll
for,
see, I think I found it. Yes. I'm guessing it talks about a dollar amount.
yeah. So even like in the Montana code, it states for lightweight vehicle manufacturers suggested retail price of more than 150,000, that is 10 years old or less, the annual registration fee, there's already a structure in place. They already have to pay an additional $825 for that registration fee of that vehicle. So where that luxury tax comes into the verbiage, I think that's then at that point.
Okay, so just interrupt you for a second. The 825 they already pay and it goes to the state.
Yes. Yeah, so currently, this is just what I pulled from the Montana code, that they have a fee structure based on the age of the vehicles. And this is then added to, so there's a base and then there's additional fees that all currently go to the state. We, as a county, currently do not retain any funds or doing motor vehicle transactions unless it is postage related. Then we are reimbursed for postage only.
And initially, the reason for this resolution is the fact that the treasurer's office is absolutely swamped with out-of-state vehicles that register their vehicles in Granite County because there is no excise tax. And they registered in Montana because there's no sales tax. And so there's businesses within Granite County that actually have a physical address and they register these vehicles. And Granite County isn't getting anything except for, like Ashley said, postage. So the work that they're doing is all on Granite County. Granite County's paying the full force of it and not receiving anything.
Yeah.
And just to, like you're saying, Blanche, to give our taxpayers that are on the Zoom call a little bit of an idea of what she's stating as far as transactions. Within the last 5 years, we have an increase of about 12,000 transactions. Our increase from fiscal year 21 to 22, we had a smaller increase, COVID, of only 2,500 transactions. But from 22 to 23, we had an increase of 5,000 transactions. So, and that had been the norm prior to. So this is not going to change. We're going to continue to have these kinds of increases in transactions alone. We're averaging anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 transactions a month, depending.
And percentage of those transactions are what would be the out-of-state plates that the percentage versus the resident?
I would have to do a little more research
But
on that.
probably just eyeballing it, would you say the 1,500 certainly isn't Granite County residents, being so we only have 3,000 rich
Yeah,
people that live here.
so, one thing to say, I was just looking up luxury, and there is no luxury under this motor vehicle option tax, so. I would say we potentially look at removing luxury and just do a dollar amount. What do you think? I mean, manufacturers suggested, yeah.
So. If something's cost $150,000 and the state got $800 more to register that, then what are we gonna get 75? With this.
But
So-
every little bit helps. I mean, we're not getting nothing
Well-
already.
Less people will register here and then you'll have less work, and that's one of
Here's
Yes.
the clincher that would probably happen. This is just my opinion, is they're gonna stop sending them to Granite County because
Yeah.
we have this excise
Yeah.
tax on them. And it doesn't matter in that aspect. We're not gonna get that much, but the one thing is we get to keep it all.
Yeah.
It's ours.
So,
We
yeah.
50% goes to the towns and 50% stays within.
less work and you
Yeah,
get
let's
some,
work in the end for
Yeah.
the treasurer's office.
yeah. So,
I've spoken with other counties and they saw a very light reduction when they implemented this, but,
as far as numbers of
Mhm.
transactions,
Yes, numbers of transactions.
interesting.
So one, I would say that we are looking at is Phillips County, who has adopted this as of 2023, is that correct? I believe 2023 was their first year of receiving funds for their local option vehicle tax, and they received around $59,000 for the year. And they have implemented the similar MSRP of $100,000 on lightweight vehicles and then 200,000 on the motorhome. And that's what they have retained. They don't do as much transaction wise as Granite County does, but they're pretty on par. Population wise, another one to look at would be Muscle Shell, but I believe Muscle Shell has theirs across the board. It's all vehicles. And in 2023, they retained 328,000.
The Phillips, if it's a use for a motor vehicle used for a business, they're still doing the local option tax on that, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't think they're, I haven't read through all of Title 61 motor vehicle to see if there's any kind of an exemption for business. There's not many exemptions when it comes to motor vehicle.
The one thing too that people need to understand is the entitlement that we receive back is still basically the same as when it originally started. So all this mass of influx of titles, they did not increase the entitlement at all for Granite County. They're still based on, is that correct, Ashley? Am I correct?
Yeah, we still don't receive any.
Yeah, we don't get it, we don't get the entitlement for all these out-of-state titles coming in.
Right.
There's some on like, junk, trying to think, junk vehicle, is there some that comes back on that? But yeah, I don't think there's very much at all.
Not to do it, yeah. So,
I'd have to ask Sarah, I think
Okay.
potentially junk vehicle might be the only one, and that's. Not very substantial, I don't think. No,
Well, once upon a time, we got all of these, and then the state decided it's better to be with them when they can give us what they feel we deserve.
yeah,
And
they control.
and that's not very much. It's still based on from whenever that happened, which was what, how many, 20, 30 years ago?
mhm.
Well,
So,
what,
I think that I'm waiting to hear back from Mike Walker, who's with the DOJ, Montana Department of Motor Vehicles. He has some follow-up questions for us about implementing this. He's only been in his position long enough to be there while Phillips County did theirs for the luxury and or MSRP of over 100,000. So he's not been around to implement any other county option tax. So I guess the question for me is, are we going to set it to be a dollar amount of MSRP? And then have the 0.5%? Or are we going to have it changed to any other option?
and. It's going, yeah, if you approve it, it goes to the voters, so
Yeah.
they'll have the county voters will have to look at it in November, but. Yeah, it's that 100,000 is probably the issue and the,
We don't do a lot in the way of motorhome. I think that the motorhome value of the 200,000 is acceptable. It's when, we're getting registered agents that are bringing in, $4.9 million Ferraris. The collector, those are the ones that this is going to affect the most. And they might go to a different county, but there's not many counties left that don't have this tax. The few registered agents that we do work with, they're gonna stay. They're gonna keep giving us transactions even if we adopt this. Whether they'll move those other vehicles to somewhere else, that's, up to them, but the fact that these funds are split amongst not only the county, but the towns, I think is also something that is gonna be important to drive home for our taxpayers.
right,
so the ballot, really, it's the ballot language.
Yeah.
Is, if that's good with the commission, or if you want any changes, if you have changes, that's fine, we can have two additional readings.
do we want to relook at this? Or do we want to, would this be the first reading, or would we put it on next week for first reading with the changes?
This was on the agenda for a first reading, but I think you guys might wanna,
Okay,
tweak it.
go ahead, Chuck.
Could we adjust that 100,000 and 200,000, put in here that to adjust it for inflation? Because in 5 years, maybe just a regular reading that costs 100,000.
You
See what I'm
could,
saying? So if we could adjust that at the annual inflation rate, it
So
would stay ahead of. Okay,
there's the Montana code and Blaine, you definitely can interpret this more than I can, but it does state the governing body of a county may impose, revise, or revoke a local option motor vehicle tax or flat fee if the imposition, revision, or revocation of the tax or fee is approved by the electorate of the county.
So it's going back to, and that's what you're trying
Yeah.
to potentially avoid, right? The
You
issue
wanna
is
avoid
that,
adjusting it up or
Yeah,
avoid?
adjust it up.
yeah,
So if we had 5%
Or-
inflation
Yeah.
and this would adjust
So it's
5% up.
So do it before the inflation, to adjust it up.
yeah. Yeah, he wants to include that in the resolution.
Yeah, so if we
Yeah.
had it in there that it would adjust up.
And what
According to
she's
inflation.
saying is that if this passed the electorate, we could change it down the road to adjust
Yeah,
it up in
that's-
time.
That's,
But
yeah,
it
that's,
goes
the-
to an election.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's, let me look at the statute, I think that's the only way to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't think we can put inflationary in the actual ballot language, I think, but after it passed, we could adjust it. The commission could.
Yeah.
How I
That's it.
read that is it would still have to be voted upon.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
That's
either way, no matter
Yeah.
what, after.
That's how I.
that's another
interpret it.
job for Caleb, they'll get this amended, so you could do that, it's a good idea. Yeah, I don't think you can put on the ballot language inflationary.
I think I better keep it as plain as we can, cause you get putting all this.
Yeah, if we
stuff,
want it
but-
to get passed.
Yeah, cause it seems like if you load it up with people, you know, just make it too hard and then it's.
Yeah,
Yeah, they probably wouldn't understand it.
yeah, and it would be
Yeah.
a no vote, if they don't, yeah.
Understand it. Okay. Are we taking comments? Susie has a comment. Go ahead, Susie.
Thank you, Blanche. For the record, this is Suzanne Browning, and I just have a question. I'm kind of confused, which isn't odd, but is odd. Anyhow, is this only for new vehicles that
No,
are,
the
Okay.
it's for registration and title, so say that, Susie, you were to sell your car to Blanche.
uh-huh,
Blanche came in to register that vehicle, she would be paying county option tax registering that vehicle.
so are you going back to the original manufactured retail price? Because 613503 is talking about the depreciated value. It is on that scale that you mentioned in the wording. So like if a vehicle's 3 years old and when you go to license it again, you're going to pay the local option motor vehicle tax, is that correct?
Only if the vehicle is assessed as an MSRP of $100,000 or more.
Okay, so would it depreciate then, say, like you said, Susie sold it to me and it depreciated, it's 3 years old and depreciated. So the depreciated value,
Yeah,
if it's less than 100,000, then I wouldn't be paying. the
it's a
excise tax.
fair market value
Fair
versus,
market
yeah,
value,
fair
yeah.
market
Is
value.
that your question, Susie?
Yes, thank you. So are there a lot of vehicles that get registered that are $100,000 in Granite County?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear numbers back from the Department of Justice, because there's only so much information I can pull from their current system. So I asked them to supply us with those numbers as far as MSRPs on vehicles that we registered for the fiscal 2024 fiscal year.
And that's, a lot of that reason is because we don't have the local option tax, so people come in here.
So Susie, what happens is there's a couple businesses in town that have legal addresses and they are in business to register out-of-state vehicles with Montana license plates. Because they can register them in the state of Montana without paying sales tax. And in Granite County especially, without having an excise tax too.
Correct.
I think it's a good idea for revenue, definitely for the county. I just wasn't aware if there were a lot of vehicles that were over 100,000 or that.
Guess a
one
lot's
thing-
relative, but it sounds like there's
Yeah,
quite a
tons
few,
and
yeah.
tons. And tons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I know it sounds like you're going to have it on the agenda again. I just know when I was reading through it, in the third paragraph, there is a the to the county is repeated. It's when it says 50% to the county and the other 50% should be to incorporated towns within the county. And it says to the county and incorporated towns. Do you see what I'm talking about there?
So that's the statute. Yeah, 50% to the county. And
Counties?
50%, the other 50% gets shared, 50% gets shared with the county and the towns based upon population.
So
Yeah,
the
that's
county
good.
gets 50% and then the other 50% is split 3 ways?
Yes, correct, based
It's
upon
three,
population,
it is 3 ways then? Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so basically, then the county would get another 50% and the towns would get whatever based on population?
Yeah, like Drummond would get a small percentage, Phillipsburg potentially in the maybe even 20% range, but yeah, so it'd be based upon the 2020 census.
So they're so they're taking the other 50% and Granite County gets 50% of that. And then the other 50% is split between
Yes, so the county could potentially get in the 75% range, yeah.
Okay.
But this would be useful for the towns. I mean, it would get them, yeah.
Definitely. I guess I just wasn't, when I looked at the Montana code on section B, it just says the remaining 50%. Okay. All right. Okay.
That's confusing.
Okay. All right. No, I thought to the county was repeated by mistake and it's not. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Susie. Go ahead, Elena. You're right. You're right.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I had some questions that Susie had and that you answered those. Just clarification, this is only on new transactions, not on the yearly renewal of these vehicles?
That is a question that I currently have out for Mike Walker. I asked that very specific question, is how does this affect someone that is renewing a vehicle? Is that option tax applied to renewals as well, or is it only title and registration?
So that question hasn't been answered yet. And my other one is, this will apply to residents also of Granite County, correct?
Yes, Elena, that if they have a vehicle with an MSRP of 100,000 or more, or a motor home of MSRP of 200,000 or more.
So anyone registering here a vehicle in Granite County,
If their vehicle is worth 100,000, they'll be paying the excise tax of $50.
So the locals are also going to be carrying this tax, which again, like you said, once they pass it, keep it simple. And then once it's passed, then we can change it. Right? Interesting. Thank you.
I believe that changes would again have to be voted on.
yeah.
They would have to be voted on if we ever were to
Change.
make any changes. The taxpayer, the electorate would have to vote on that as well. Cannot be changed by resolution alone.
That's correct, yeah.
Well, being the first reading, we can make a decision.
So would we consider this the first reading, or do we have to make?
Well, if you're gonna change anything substantially, you'll need 2 more readings, but if I know there's one typo we found there, but if there's no changes to your dollar amounts, and this could be the first reading.
Are we wanting to take luxury out or leave it in?
Well,
Take it out.
what it's talking about there, it's not really a legal term here used. It's more talking about anything over 100,000 is
Okay,
luxury. So
So-
we could actually take that.
and it would be like a typo, we're taking it out, we don't have to.
Yeah.
I think it's just clarification. That's not a
Yeah.
significant change. It's basically what it's saying.
Okay,
Anything over 100,000.
so are we considering this our first reading?
Yep.
Okay, All right,
Thank
so
you,
we had public comment and,
thank you.
we've got a couple typos in there that's in the speak first reading. And then, I guess, what was the question, whether or not they have to pay it every year?
Yeah, for renewal. So there's quite a few questions that I have
Oh.
out to them, but it's.
Whether
more
they
of a
pay that excise
structure.
tax
Oh,
when
it's,
they
I don't,
re-registered their vehicle,
so not,
when they got new tags.
Renewals.
yeah, I don't think this is applying to that at all. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's-
don't
yeah,
either. I
I
was
don't see that
thinking
it's,
They've already got their plates, they
yeah.
paid that fee.
Let
didn't-
me double check that
Yeah.
one here.
Don't pay the park fee, no, I'm just kidding.
Under six.
You know, it's funny how people just don't realize what's coming into this county and being registered with 46 license
Big
plates.
time, I know.
Yeah.
Section.
Some random
Section.
when I go toll.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Rentals.
Rental cars.
Big time.
I think one time there was even a Lamborghini.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be over, rentals wouldn't be over 100,000.
There's some cars that have Suburbans.
Not that many, most of them would be less.
Okay, so,
They get cheaper.
we have no more public comment. Thank you, Ashley. We can move on to our next, agenda item, which is providing a COLA increase for union employees, which is the road department and solid waste department.
I'll move to increase the COLA for union employees by 50%.
Exactly.
Is there any public comment?
Sorry, what are you voting on?
The COLA.
Oh, okay.
And as the
Sounds good.
union negotiation, they said they're fine with it,
So yeah,
union rep.
actually the contract, they didn't have any issues with, and so, yeah, they were good with COLA.
So does this mean that, everything's good until contract time comes around next year?
So,
Or do
yeah,
It's year to year with them.
yeah. So they could give notice again and,
Because they
Change
missed,
things, yeah.
they missed,
They're
Yeah.
lucky they're getting it. They
Yeah.
missed it.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, I.
technically, you're right. You could say no to it, but to give it to every employee but them, that wouldn't be.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that the representative should have been on the ball. It shouldn't be us having to carry it all.
Agreed.
Well, those are new persons.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he was
there's
still
no,
in there before this. We knew about it coming up. He's.
okay. Sarah, it's been seconded, any public comment? Being none, all in favor, aye. Okay, the next one is the Montana Wool Growers Association MOU for FY 2025. This is the yearly thing, telling us how many sheep are in the.
I think they. Maybe I'm saying this wrong, but I think they, well, I know there's more feet than that, but. This is a good deal. You think they'd go around and try to count how many sheep, so they did a little more for the. Airplane and that was all the new, look at the new grizzly, or how many more grizzly bears, wolves, eagles, I mean. They kind of short themselves on it thinking,
well, that should be the Department of Revenue should be doing that, you'd think.
that. I'm just saying that, there's
I
more,
mean,
but.
yeah.
It's better for them if they knew there's more just to help, cause some of these other counties, they got lots of sheep, and so a lot of times the airplane stays over them because they get more money on that. We went through this big time, when it first started. That's I'll make a motion.
A second.
Okay, is there any public comment? Being none, all in favor, aye. Motion carried unanimously. Okay, that is the last item on our agenda, and it is 12 noon. We are adjourned.
Thank you, good job.